this time when humanity is facing a few existential crises, we've got the climate crisis, we've got a deepening social crisis, and we've got a health crisis. I think the approach of shared value has never been more relevant. And within that broad rubric, insurance must be the ultimate shared value industry where social impact is really integral to economic success. Things like reducing accidents, improving health, helping organizations better prepare for economic risks, all of those improve the profitability of insurers. Yet, I still see many insurers remaining stuck in a more passive model rather than actively pursuing shared value. Well, Francois Theron is Deputy CEO of Discovery Business Insurance, an organization that understands us all too well. Francois, welcome to Business Talk. What do you see as the unique value proposition in shared value business insurance?
Thank you, Michael. Shared value insurance for us underpins really what we do for the entire group. I think firstly, it's absolutely critical is that across all the product lines, we have an individual or a business. We, in a positive way, change their behavior through incentives that we've designed over many, many years. And as we change that behavior, we create a lot better risks, across the product lines. And ultimately, I think that to us is important. As you mentioned, we benefit from it as an insurer, but we take most of those savings and then plow that back into the individual or into the businesses again, and create this perfect ecosystem where we, at the end of the day, have a benefit for society. And I think that's what we stand for. Specifically, when it comes to Discovery Business Insurance, we believe that we'll rather, create positive businesses and better businesses through this shared value model, rather than just reactively pay out claims. So what we've done through Discovery Business Insurance is developed a model on shared value, where we do create better businesses. And specifically, maybe to use an example on the motor side, we've developed Vitality Drive for businesses, where we in a positive way incentivize specifically fleets. And as fleets drive better, we change their behavior. There's a spin-off directly for the business. And we believe by creating better businesses, we can have more sustainable businesses, and more sustainable businesses are better insurance risks. So I think that's the model in itself. Some of the key benefits when it comes to Discovery Business Insurance is that as we change the behavior, we have specific bespoke rewards for those individuals driving the fleet vehicles. But I think very importantly also, we give up to 30% of the premium back, of the motor insurance premium back, to the business. And then, as I mentioned, is that the impact to society, I believe, is immense. If you look at some of the statistics, maybe prior to COVID, where people were still driving and not in lockdown phases, you would have seen in South Africa, we have about 30 deaths for every 100,000 people, which quite frankly is not sustainable, and something as Discovery Insure that we want to make a big impact in. And by changing behavior, getting people to drive better, getting fleets to behave differently, we believe it increased the productivity of the business, but it also hopefully saves some of these gruesome accidents that you often see and the impact that have on livelihoods.
And I believe you're doing something for heavy commercial vehicles as well. And I think the Vitality Drive for fleet is just a natural extension of where you've gone with your retail product in that market. Tell us a little bit more about this product now that you've launched for heavy commercial vehicles.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that there's a specific niche. We've now collected over 15 billion kilometers of driving data just through our Vitality Drive program. And we have seen that we can easily extend that program into fleets and into heavy commercial vehicles. Just for some background, we have done an extensive study with Avis in the local business, where we have a strategic partnership with Avis, where we took the Vitality Drive program and literally kind of just utilized that under a rental vehicle. The program is called Avis Safe Drive, and anyone that takes out a rental vehicle, we incentivize them to drive the rental vehicle well, including in their fleet environment, where there's long-term leases, there's fleets available. And just all the data that we have seen come out of the program gave us the confidence to say that we believe we can shift driving behavior in different kind of spectrums of driving and different segments. And the heavy commercial vehicles is one of those where you often find there are very, very different risks associated to heavy commercial vehicles. Overloading of trucks, as an example. Often it comes down to specific maintenance of those fleets. it comes down to often those individuals driving those vehicles, and the long hours they spent in these commercial vehicles. And we have developed a program specifically when it looks like driver fatigue and things like that, and how can we positively influence that. So how the program works is, again, based on the same model as Vitality Drive for business, specifically on the commercial side, is that the fleet, there's a full fleet management portal that we make available to the company. At any given time, they can see their fleet in real time. It then also provides bespoke incentives for these individuals driving the vehicles, and that is customizable per segment. So the individual can have rewards such as data, airtime, maybe meal vouchers and things like that, that incentivize them to drive better. And again, the company at the end of the day can get up to 30% off of their premium back. But I think what is quite important is just the technology that underpins it all. So what we measure in the back end is basically all the telematics data, acceleration, braking, cornering, the speed that the vehicle move at. And then more modern day, I would say, tracking things like, are they utilizing their cell phone while they drive that vehicle? And the new technology that we've developed now, where it's basically an outboard and an inboard camera, we call it Drive View, where you can actually now start seeing is the driver, for example, getting tired? Are they maybe distracted on the road? And can we build these early, almost warning signs to make sure that the driver stays very, very safe on the road? And I think just maybe a final comment around the heavy commercial vehicle product. Specifically, it's often about the fitness of the driver as well. So when it comes to the driver's wellness, we now have a Vitality Health program where we do things like just hearing assessments, eye tests, and I think those are critical. As we take some of these drivers through the test, we realize like some of those basics are so essential for these drivers to be safe on the roads. And then very importantly, the maintenance of these vehicles. Often you have these fleets, it's all about productivity and how much time they spend on the roads. But it's critical that you maintain the fleet, and we give these businesses an opportunity to make sure that these fleets are RTMS compliant. So it's almost like a basic safety standard for these trucks on the road, or the heavy commercial vehicles. And we help them through basically 2 hours of consultation. How do you become RTMS compliant? And then importantly, as you continue to maintain your fleet, how do you make sure that they stay compliant? And we give them a deep discount up to 33% to make sure that they stay compliant. And then a simple thing like tires is that we give up to 50% discount through Tiger Wheel and Tyro in Bridgeton to say that, keep your vehicle safe on the road. And we give those discounts again when it comes to maintenance of tires. I think all of these things are absolutely critical elements to make sure that the vehicle is safe on the road. We see from our data that about 90% of accidents are caused by individual error, and often by the maintenance of the vehicle. And all of these things, I think, really, lean towards just making sure that we have safer drivers on the road.
Does it only appeal to a certain population of the market or sector of the market, much like some other Discovery products? Just tell me a little bit about the size of the fleet that you need here. What is the smallest, for example?
Yes, so the technology that we've developed works very, very well across different fleets. So literally from a few vehicles, and we've learned that through our personal lines product, all the way through the spectrum of large fleets, as well as heavy commercial vehicles. And again, it's underpinned by the technology. The technology is very easy and to transport into different fleets. There are different kind of elements of the technology that we can deploy, but very easy to transport into different segments. So a wide variety. The technology is very applicable, and anything from a very small fleet to large complex fleets.
Now, on the matter of the recent civil unrest, which has really highlighted the importance of adequate business insurance, we know Sasria has been sort of overwhelmed. What has Discovery Business Insurance's response been in supporting your business clients through this period?
Yeah, I mean, Michael, I think it's been a very difficult time for businesses, and specifically at the time of the unrest, is how disruptive it was, not just from a productivity point of view, but also from a loss point of view. And just to put it in context, Sasria is kind of a coupon that the insurance company act upon. And we had clients that were impacted, through the specific riots, and we had to act very, very quickly on these Sasria claims. And what we've done in our case is that immediately, utilizing the telematics data, we understood where there were specific vehicles that was potentially involved, in the areas where there were riots. But also on the non-motor side is just getting a team in place that specifically we ring-fence to look after these clients. And we very quickly established that some of these clients would have a potential total loss or a very, very big loss. And in those cases, we had interim payments made out to them immediately. And we had put a team on the ground literally to understand each one of these claims, make sure we work through them, understand the different circumstances. And I think these clients were impacted all in different ways. And we had to try and customize almost solutions for every client and see how quickly do you get them back, on their feet, or at least if you can't get them back into operation, how do you make sure from a financial point of view, you put them in a position that they continue to get to do business, in time to come. I think that is critical for us. Just how do we wrap ourselves around those specific clients where we stand to date? We have, bar a few claims that are very complex, have assessed all those claims and have made the necessary payments to our clients.
Well, I think it just again underscores the need to have an insurer on your side that completely understands what insurance is about ultimately. And insurance, as I said earlier, is the ultimate shared value in society. And if you just look at it, the ripple effects of road accidents, for example, extend deep into the economy. Poor driving increases fuel costs by an average of 15%. So a no-brainer when it comes to this new product that you've launched into the market. Francois Theron, Deputy CEO of Discovery Business Insurance, thank you so much for sharing your insights into the innovations that continue to flow from Discovery here on Business Talk. Take care.
Michael, thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it.